What if I tell you banks can create money without printing it? What if I tell you this happens quietly every single day? And what if I tell you your own bank account is part of this system? This is not a theory. This is not a secret. This is how modern banking works. Once you understand this, money stops feeling confusing and starts feeling mechanical. Let's begin with what you think happens. You earn money, you deposit it into a bank. You imagine your money sitting safely in a vault, waiting, untouched. That image feels right, but that image is wrong. Banks do not store most of your money, they use it. When you deposit money, the bank records a number. That number is a promise, not a pile of cash. The bank keeps only a small fraction. The rest is available to lend. Now stop and think. If the bank lends your money, should your balance disappear? But it doesn't. You still see the same amount. At the same time, someone else is spending your money. Two people, same dollars. This is where money creation begins. Let's walk through a simple example. You deposit $1,000. The bank keeps $100. The remaining $900 is loaned out. That borrower uses the money. The money ends up in another bank. That bank keeps a fraction and lends the rest. This process repeats. Each step creates more money. The original $1,000 becomes many thousands. No printer, no mint, just numbers. This system is called fractional reserve banking. It exists everywhere, and it is legal. Banks create money when they issue loans. The moment a loan is approved, new money appears. A deposit is created, not transferred, created. Most people think banks lend deposits. In reality, loans create deposits. This reverses everything you were taught. Now here's the critical part. This system depends entirely on trust. Banks assume not everyone will withdraw at the same time. If they did, banks would collapse. This is called a bank run. History is full of them. That is why governments insure deposits. That is why central banks exist. They act as the system's backstop, printing money when trust breaks. Now let's talk about why this affects you. When banks create money, the money supply grows. More money, same goods. Prices rise. This is inflation. Your savings lose purchasing power, quietly over time. But the new money does not reach everyone equally. It enters the system through banks and flows outward. Those closest to the source benefit first. Banks, financial institutions, asset owners. This is called the Cantillon effect. By the time money reaches you, prices have already risen. This is why assets inflate. Stocks rise, real estate rises, while wages lag behind. This is not accidental, it is structural. The system rewards those who understand it and punishes those who don't. Banks are not villains, they are operators, following incentives. The system is not broken, it is working exactly as designed. So what should you do? First, stop thinking money is scarce. Money is created. Second, understand debt. Debt can destroy you or accelerate you, depending on how it is used. Third, think in assets. Assets absorb inflation. Cash does not. This is why financial education matters, not to escape the system, but to navigate it. Now let's clear up one final misunderstanding. Banks do not need your deposit to lend. They need reserves, and reserves come from the central bank. This means banks are constrained by regulation, not deposits. This is why credit expansion can be rapid and contractions can be sudden. When lending stops, the economy slows. When lending expands, bubbles form. Boom and bust are features, not bugs. Once you see this, money stops being mysterious. It becomes predictable. Banks will continue to create money. Inflation will continue. Assets will rise. The question is, will you understand why? Or will you be surprised every cycle? This knowledge is not taught in school, but it shapes your entire financial life. Now you know. Money is not magic, it is accounting. Banks control the creation, but you control your awareness, and awareness is the first step to power. That is how banks create money out of nothing.